Today, I'm going over the newest plugin out there for real estate creators like you and me that use DaVinci Resolve. SpeedRamper. It was created by fellow real estate photographer Shay. And what this plugin does for me more than anything else, well, honestly, it saves me time, and lots of it. If you're like me and like to throw in a few special SpeedRamp style clips to your real estate videos, then you know how time consuming creating each one of those transitions can be by hand. On the same note, if you're like me, you've probably tried more than a few off-the-shelf speed ramping drag and drop transitions that, well, let's just be honest, they don't work out well for real estate. And in my opinion, that's because the majority of those are built for travel videos with too many spins and over-the-top extras that just, well, like I said, they just don't look clean in real estate videos. And that's why I love this plugin in particular. And throughout this video, I'll be going over what makes it so special for the real estate world in particular, and why it's better than everything else I have personally tried so far. What's the deal, everyone? I'm Jeremy Deal, and if you're new here, I help solve the problems of creatives with a focus on running a real estate visuals marketing company, and of course the gear, or in this case, programs it takes to do that. Today's video is sponsored by a longtime supporter of the channel, virtualstaging.ai, but a little more on them later on in the video. If you're new here, well, you got a lot to learn. If not, you've seen it before. If you're watching this video before October 31st, then check the description below for 15% off its purchase price since it just released. I don't make any money from these sales, but I did get an advanced copy of this to play with around for free. With that little bit of housekeeping out of the way, let's get into how it works. I brought it up at the very top of the video, but I want to talk exactly about what makes this SpeedRamper different than 99% of the others you'll find out there. I know that I mentioned this is special because it's built specifically for clean real estate ramping transitions and mid-clids, but what does that mean? Well, it means it's missing all those extras that people new to the transitions world love and working professionals love to hate. There are only clean ramps that are specifically designed for each scenario you might encounter, and I love that. Forwards, reverse, sideways, and middle ramps. There are a few different types of ramps, but really only two different workflows for this. The first is the middle ramp, where you're affecting one single clip. You're either speeding up the center or you're slowing down the center and making it speed in and out. And then there's everything else, and that involves ramping between two different clips and using it as like a transition effect between those two different clips. Let's jump into the office to show you the workflow of that last one first. I want to tell you about today's video sponsor, virtualstaging.ai. It does not matter if you're a professional photographer in the real estate space, a brokerage running a team, or just a single agent wanting to increase the look and feel of your brand online. It's not only the cheapest virtual staging you can find, it's also the best AI-driven product out there, and it has multiple styles of furniture and room type to choose from. They just also released their destaging option, so now you can remove that unsightly furniture that's there now and replace it with pieces that match your branding vibe. Check out the affiliate link down below to get the biggest discount they offer and not only get an amazing product to step up your game, but also support this channel in the process. Now, back to the video. All right, here we go, y'all. Now, first of all, let me say this is just a very basic tutorial to show you how it actually works. Whenever you purchase it from him, he has a whole set of behind the scenes tutorials and layouts and how to do everything. So this is just a quick run just to let you know how it works. I'm going to pop open effects over here, and all the way down to the bottom of my effects, you're going to see SpeedRamper. That's where you're going to see all these guys right here. All these are basically how you control this. So you've got forward ones, forward twos, you've got reverses, middles, and let me just show you how this works. So the first thing you're going to do, you're going to drag your clips right here onto your timeline. You're going to come up here and you're going to look at the metadata for these clips. And this is going to tell you right here the frames for your clips. This is important because it directly relates to these numbers over here. Now, it's also very important. Each of these will only work properly if you go ahead and turn this into a compound clip. I recommend doing all your color editing first and stabilizing and then turning it into a compound clip, but you can do this however you like. That's just the route I like to take. But right now I'm working with raw files. So I'm just going to press that new compound clip button, and I'm going to go ahead and turn both of these into a new compound clip just to make it nice and simple and easy. easy. We're gonna go back to this one, and these are both reverse shots. You are going in reverse. Look at that. See the way it tilts over to the side a little bit at the end? I actually don't want that. There we go. Now we've got right here, forward 1. It has a total of 384 frames. So these are both reverse clips. F is for forward, M is for middle, R is for reverse, and S is for standard or sideways or anything else that doesn't fit into one of those categories. Now we're gonna go R1 because this is the first clip. It has 384 frames, so we're gonna look for the number that is closest to that 384. Here's 300, here's 333, here's 366, and we're gonna do 366.90 because I want a shorter clip. And all you have to do is drag it on there. It literally is that simple. Now, if you scroll back and see, you're gonna see there comes a point where all this is the same. So basically what you're doing is you're looking for this last frame where you're actually moving in reverse, and that's where you're gonna clip the footage. Now, the way DaVinci Resolve works when it comes to transitioning clips is that you need footage at the end for the transition to work right, or it has to trim it and clip it in weird ways. So I'm not 100% if that's the reason why he did it, but that's why I think is why he did it. So there we go. We're at that last frame, and I'm gonna drag this on down. So now we're gonna go to our reverse 2 clip. Remember, this is R1, this is R2. So we're gonna come down here and we're gonna find R2. This frame right here is only 230 frames, so it's a different size. So we're gonna look for that one, which will be, here's 166, here's 200, here's 233. So that's too much. You want to go with the smallest number without going over. Think of it kind of like Jeopardy or Wheel of Fortune, I guess. So we're going to go 200 frames because that'll be close enough. It'll zoom in, and there we go. We'll find the end frame just like before right here, and we'll trim it. Now, granted, this takes much less time whenever you're doing it and not trying to explain it to someone, but there you go. That's basically how it rolls. And I'll go ahead and play the final clip for you one more time. All right, y'all, here we are with editing technique number 2. So this time I've got a middle ramp clip. So I'm gonna come on over here to my effects, just like before, open it up, and I'll go a little bit deeper on why I'm doing things for this second one. Now, for the middle, you have 2 options. You've got an M and an MO. An M will basically make the front and end of the clip nice and slow, and it will speed through the center right there. So all this part will be going much faster. And then we've got an MO right here, and that is what makes the ends faster and the center slower. Now, I'm going to be going with option 1 for this clip right here because I want it to start slow, speed through the boring part, and end again. Now I see I've got a little juke in my footage in the end, so I already know that's going to look not the best, but once again, when it comes to footage, you get out what you put in. So no use crying over spoiled milk, right? Now what we're going to do is we're going to come over here just like before. We're going to open up the metadata and we're going to look at the M frames. Look at these end frames, 1169. So that's what we're going to start looking at, except let's stop. We're not, because right now I have a clip pulled out of the full frame, C5053. This is not the entire clip. I can make this clip longer. I can make this clip shorter. What this frame rate right here is referencing is the entire clip. So once again, we're gonna have to right clip this and do new compound clip, just like before. And that's gonna give us our real frame rate here. So now this clip from start to end is 337. Now we're gonna come over here and find the middle ramp that's closest to that. And as you can see, I've already got it highlighted over here, M33. The goal again is to pick the highest number without going over. So we're gonna drag that down right over here. Now, what's different about this technique to the others is that this has a little bit of more editability, for lack of a better term. Come over here, press your inspector, and this is where you're gonna be able to see where you can control things. Now, remember before when we looked at this and saw 337 was the number, but over here, 333 is the number. Since this is a middle ramp, it allows you to do the clip exactly the length that you need it. See, now, whenever you're doing the other ones, the exactness is not as important because of the way the ramp works. But here, it is important because you're only using one clip. So what you can do is you can scroll to the end over here, just like that. We're gonna change this number to 337 because we know that's how many frames are in it. And since we've changed it, we know this is where the end frame is. If we click over from here, you can see there's nothing to see. Oh, here we go. Let's add this. It stays still after this. So if we go to this last frame, we also know that's our clip point. Now I can scroll through this and show it to you. I haven't showed it to you yet, so let me go ahead and render it in place so that way you can see what it looks like. And here we go. Let's go ahead and watch it now with the middle ramp applied, just like that. Now it could have been super easy if I would have just done the effect without teaching you. It would have taken me a quarter of the time. And that's the point of this plugin. Now let's jump back into that studio. This is really just the beginning of how you can use these drag and drop effects to enhance the videos you're already making and do what I like to call stopping the doom scroll of potential buyers in their tracks. As always, keep rocking and rolling, enjoy what you're doing, make smart business decisions, and let me know down below if this was useful. As always, what else do you want me to cover? And actually, members, check it out. I just released a new video. Catch y'all next time.